they hammered the heck out of that water laced with narcotics. All right? These rats were serious addicts. Okay? And so, every rat that he did with these in captivity, they would drink, that's the water that they drink. So his hypothesis was, is social connections, does social connections affect drug use? So he made a park, this big cage with rats, and he put all these fun apparatuses, like little ropes and little wheels and little tunnels and stuff, so these rats could just frolic and have a good time. Okay? And then what he did is he put water, just like he did with the rats in captivity. Water bottles filled with water and water bottles filled with narcotics. And he wanted to find out, did the social element have any effect? And what he discovered is it did. Not one of the rats drank the water laced with narcotics. Every one of them was drinking the regular water. And his hypothesis was then, was if you have family, if you have social, then you don't want to take the drug because you already got the real thing. So then what he did is, well, that may be good, but what do we do with already people that are already addicted? So he took rats that were addicted, rats that were already addicted, and introduced them to Rat Park. And within a week, every one of those addicted rats was drinking water, the regular water. And they were all recovered addicts. Now, a lot of critics said, well, those are rats. Those aren't human beings. And he couldn't get any volunteers to do human park instead of rat park, right? As you can imagine. But I think it means a lot, right? I think it means a lot, which means the power of community and the power of team can do a lot, all right, to solve the problem, all right? It's not the end-all, be-all, and I know that, but it's a part of the answer. And we have to develop that more, okay? So I think the biggest problem with teenagers in our culture in general is we have to identify this. We think that we need drugs to perform better. There's this kind of concept out there that if you really want to get good, like, right, Armstrong, we won the Tour de France however many times, right? If you really want an edge on the competition, you got to take the drugs, right? That's a thought out there right now. You think you also have to take drugs to relax and de-stress. There's a lot of people that say, I need a beer. I need a beer. I've had a long day. I need a beer. Right? Or I need to smoke a bowl. I need to relax. That's a lot of the mentality right now, is you need drugs to relax. You think you have to take drugs to have fun. You mean we're going to go to a party and there's not going to be any alcohol there? That's crazy. I'm not going to go to that party. That's not going to be any fun. Right? That's the mentality out there. You got to have drugs and alcohol to perform better, to de-stress, and to have fun. And anybody that doesn't agree with that are dorks. Would you agree? I'm not saying that's how you necessarily feel, but I'm saying that that's the common attitude out there. And I think is wrong. For one, because our brains are not developed, right? And so just because we think this doesn't mean it's a reality. Okay, but we have to overcome this mentality. Okay? After you win the PAC championship, there will be people on this team that will say, we need to celebrate with drugs and alcohol. After you lose a game, there will be people on this team that will say, we need to drown our fears or drown our sorrows. Right? Understand that if that's how you live your life, you are setting yourself up. Now, the odds are that you may not become addicted. You may not do something stupid. You may not become a victim. I know there's odds there. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But I don't know about you. Right? But I want the odds in my favor. That's one of the reasons I try not to go to casinos. Because I know the casino is set up that they're going to win more than I'm going to win. That's how they set the game up, that they win more than me. I also know that they set up for a lot of near wins. So that when I play a game and I almost win, I think, oh, next time I'm going to win. Okay? We have to be aware of that. We have to be aware of that. So, what are we going to do about it? I think we have to do a couple things. Number one is we need to start thinking about doing the right thing and making resolutions to do the right thing. But understand that resolutions are not enough. Okay? So I'm telling you that we need to do a better part of saying, I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to be stupid, I'm going to do the right thing. That's the number one thing you have to do. You got to say in your mind, I'm going to do the right thing. But that's not enough. Okay? What is the percentage of people that are actually able to live out their New Year's resolutions? Any ideas? Statistically, how many people are able to conquer and do these?
3%.
3%. Anybody else?
I second the 3%.
We got a second for the 3%. The actual percentage is 8. 8% actually follow through with their New Year's resolutions. 92% fail. So, having a resolution is good, but it's not enough. You've got to do more. Okay? What are some of the reasons why there's only 8% that succeed? Statistics say that their goal setting stinks. They don't know how to goal set. What do I mean? They set an unrealistic goal. So some of you girls are drinking 17 beers a day, and you say, I'm done. Cold turkey. Not drinking anymore. It's probably unrealistic to think that you're going to go from 17 beers a day to 0. Okay? Most people that set New Year's resolutions are unrealistic. They also have vague goals. I'm going to get better. How do you measure getting better? They also have too many goals, and there's no way that they can do them all. So, people that fail on this don't do a good job of really doing the goal-setting process. What else? They don't surround themselves with good people. That's a big reason why people fail in achieving goals. All right? That's a big one, and especially on this team. Okay? If I tell myself I'm going to lose 20 pounds, and my wife goes to the grocery store and buys ice cream, cake, hot dogs, hamburgers, chips, all that sort of stuff, and she eats it in front of me, laughing at me, chances are it's going to be really hard for me to lose that weight. Would you agree? So having friends to help you is a big one that a lot of people don't do. And the third one, I got 4 and 5. Third one is they don't have a tracking system to track their progress. Number 4, they don't know how to make it a game. And number 5, they don't equip themselves that it's going to be tough. Okay? I got this from my leadership class, and I think it's really, really, really good. All right? What is it? It's called the emotional cycle of change. Anytime you want to do something, there's kind of a process. So let's say you said, well, I'm going to go out and play soccer at Thomas More. All right? And you're all excited about it. I'm going to start, I'm going to score goals, it's going to be awesome. Every one of us has this uninformed optimism that this is going to be awesome. And that can be starting a new behavior, right? You meet this boy, he's a great guy, you've had some bad relationships, and you say, this is the guy. It's going to work out. And every one of us convinces ourselves, this is going to be awesome. And then after we're into the relationship, or whether we're into the soccer season, or whatever, we get into an informed pessimism. We realize that it's a lot harder than we originally thought it was going to be. Right? You've all been there before. You've been here, and you've been here. And that continues to go down. Why did I agree to play soccer at Thomas More? Why did I decide to go out with this guy? Why did I sign up for this class? Why did I do this? Why did I do this job? And every one of us goes from here to here. This is where a lot of people crash and burn. They go down here, and sooner or later it's going to get better. It will get better, but too many people quit before it gets better. And that's where a lot of crash and burners are. All right? So my point is anytime you try to do something new or different, you have to be realistic about it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a roller coaster. They did studies of prisoners of war during the Vietnam War. Prisoners of war. 4 groups of people. during the Vietnam War that were in captivity. Some of them didn't get out for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. The first ones to die were the dummies. The ones that didn't know better, didn't know how to follow the rules, or didn't know what was right or what was wrong, and they're the ones who died first. If any of you guys have seen the movie Unbroken, the captivity was similar to that. The next people to die were the pessimists. The ones that said, this is never going to work. You know, I'm going to die. Oh, I'm going to die. Pessimists died second. The third group were the optimists. I'm going to get out of here at Christmas. It's going to get better. But those people died third because when they get out at Christmas, they're like, woe is me. The people that survived are the realists. They're the ones who realize, I might get out, I might not get out. It's going to be tough. And I'm here to tell you, ladies, that being 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 in our culture right now is hard. It is really, really hard. And we have to know that. There's mines everywhere. We're walking in a minefield. And we have to be ready for that. Does that make sense to you? We got to. So, what SportsLeader believes in, we believe that A, strengthen your character, and you're going to have a better chance to succeed. Mentor your friends and your teammates, and you're going to have a better chance to succeed. And celebrate each other more, and you're going to have a better chance to succeed. Those are 3 keys that we believe in. Okay? So we're going to give you a tracker because we have a tracker that helps us do that. Okay? But before we do the tracker, I want you to turn over your brain teaser. Turn it over. All right? And I want to set you up for the tracker. Okay? So before we start the tracker, and this is the meat and potatoes, ladies. This is the meat and potatoes. You've been doing great. All right? We're at 57 minutes, so we got about 30 minutes to go. We're done. You guys have been great. Hanging in there. Okay? What I want you to write on the back of your brain teaser is, what do you think a strength is that you have? Most 20-year-olds really have no clue of what they're really, really good at. So as a soccer player, you can think, write down on it, what is the best thing you do as a soccer player? What is the best thing you bring to this team as a soccer player? If you don't want to do that, you can go ahead and do it as a student. What's the best subject you have? What's the best thing you do as a student? Or it can be as a person. Okay? You can write down 2 or 3 if you want. But I want you to do that right now. Write down, kind of brainstorm right now. What are some of your strengths? You're a vocal. You're a good communicator. You can score 70 goals. You need one of those, right, Coach? Somebody can score 70, yes. All right? You're really fast. You don't give up. Those are all examples of a strength. Okay? Well, I want you to write that down. If I were to ask the football team this same question, 4 out of 5 of them would not know. We just aren't very introspective. We don't think about these types of things. Right? Strength Finders is a new kind of book series that came out about 5 years ago, and they're always talking about we should always cater to our strengths. The problem is most of us don't know what our strengths are. So right now you have the opportunity to think about what are your strengths. And guess what, ladies? It's not set in stone right now. It's an evolving process. Okay? If you don't know, how many of you don't know? Then ask somebody. What's your name?
Christy.
Christy. Can anybody tell Christy what her strength is that she has?
You're pretty.
She's pretty. Write that down.
Christy, you're good at holding the ball when you flop. Like, you know what I mean? You have good hands when you fall. Like, anyone else would drop that, but you, like, secure it. You have good hands.
How about some people?
That's good.
What?
Those are sports related.
Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing?
You can do sports related.
Can you do anything?
And then you're not really finding yourself. You're just finding what you're good at in sports.
But that's still good because how many players don't cater to their strength? You know, it's like the big guy in basketball deciding that he's going to dribble the ball up the court. We don't want him to dribble the ball up the court. Or that guy shooting the 3. Right? So it's still important that you know what your strengths are as an athlete. Now, as a character, it's also, but it doesn't matter to me. As long as you identify a strength, that's okay. Okay? Now, I think to your point, what's your first name?
Julia.
Julia. I think Julia's point is this, is it's an evolution, ladies. Once you start thinking about your strengths, next week you may think that there's another strength that you have. And next month you may discover another strength, which is great. And you may start prioritizing them. But again, most of us don't take the time to do that. So this is a chance for you to start thinking that way. Okay? I also want you to write down a weakness then. If you haven't done that already, what is a weakness or two that's holding you back from being really good? Right? That could be, I complain, I'm a complainer. It could be, I don't believe in myself. It could mean that I'm selfish. It could mean that I don't communicate. It could mean that I got to work on whatever skills. I can't kick the ball with my left foot. Would that be one, Coach? Here we go. I touch the ball with my hands too much and I'm not a goalie. Whatever the case may be. Okay?
You just gave an answer to all.
Is that right? It's the same thing. It's important that you identify your weaknesses. Like I told you, I know that if I go in a casino with a credit card or a debit card, I'm in trouble. I know that. Okay? I know that if I eat after 7 o'clock, I'm in trouble. Right? If I get any of those Halloween candies, guess how many I'm going to eat? As many as I can. I know that about me. And when I know that about me, I can protect myself. If you know that if you go to a party, you're going to drink, you need to know that about yourself. And then you can do something about it. Right? That's huge. We all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. The problem is we don't know what our strengths are and we don't know what our weaknesses are and we're getting ourselves into trouble. I am not going out for the swimming team. I'm not. That's not my strength. All right. That's first and foremost is we are not doing enough to invest in ourselves. We have to do a better job of investing in ourselves. We also have to invest more in our teammates. All right? So what I want you to write on the back, who on this team or what teammate have you praised lately? Write their name. What teammate have you encouraged lately? Write down their name. It could be this team or on the lacrosse team or whatever sport, whoever you consider teammates. Who have you helped out lately? Who has helped you out lately? Who has challenged you lately? Because great teams help each other. Great teammates encourage each other. Great teammates challenge each other. Great teammates are always about each other. That's what makes great teams. Is it awkward and ugly and weird from time to time? Yeah, it's awkward, ugly, and weird from time to time. All right? But the fact of the matter is, what you invest in is what you get out of it. The more you invest in the team, the better team you're going to have. The less you invest in team, the less team you're going to have. And quite honestly, lady, ask your coaches, the biggest thing that we miss is team. Whenever we have reunions or whatever, we always miss hanging out with the people that improved us and that we improved them on. I'm going to a golf outing next Friday up at Michigan State. It's going to be fun, but my 3 best buddies aren't going to be there. So how much of a good time is it going to be? Not that much. Why? Because these guys were just teammates. They didn't really care too much about me, and I didn't really care too much about them. So we're going to do the 5 minutes of pleasantries. Hey, how you doing? What are you doing with yourself? Oh, really? How many kids you got? Oh, I got, really? Where are they going to school? Great. Okay. All right, see you later. Because we have nothing else in common. And we don't care that much about each other. So, does that make sense to you? Write it down. Great teams do that. All right? So I'm going to give you my 2 favorite scenes. You probably have seen it before. But I think these do a great job. Lots of times, Thank you, ladies.
Those are the ones with class of 4, so.
Okay. I know it is not easy. Don't screw it up. I know it's not easy to challenge teammates. I know it's not. It's the same way with guys. It's the same way with girls. It's really hard to do that. That's why the more you invest in a teammate, what's your name?
Abby.
If I'm talking to Abby on a day-to-day basis, great job, Abby. Way to go. Keep it up. I saw you did this. Great job. This is a strength that you have. The more you invest into people positively, the easier it is to tell her when she's doing the wrong thing. Would you agree? It's really hard to go there where you don't know somebody very well. All right? But if you know that a teammate is doing the wrong thing and you don't want to go there, what you should do, in my opinion, is improve your relationship. Get a foundation of relationship. When you get a foundation of relationship, you discover the good qualities, they discover your good qualities, and then you have a foundation to say, you know, I care about you, I don't think you're doing the right thing with this. You with me? And then they'll respect you more because they know that you're sincere. They're not just ratting on you. You have a relationship with them. And this is a great scene because neither of these guys like each other. But they're the two best players on the football team. One's a captain, one should be a captain. And so they finally get the guts to call each other out. And if you've seen the movie, they become best friends. It's an awesome, awesome, awesome exchange. But my point is we as a team have to do a better job of building up our relationships so that we can call each other out of love when we're doing the wrong thing. Okay? Because every one of us will do the wrong thing from time to time. It's inevitable.
All right, listen. I'm Gary. You're Julius. Let's get some particulars and just get this over with, all right?
Particulars.
Yeah.
No matter what I tell you, you ain't gonna never know nothing about
Hey,
me.
man, listen. I ain't running any more of these 3 days, okay?
Well, what I got to say, you really don't want to hear, because honesty ain't too high up on your people's priority list, right?
Honesty? You want honesty? All right, honestly, I think you're nothing. Nothing but a pure waste of God-given talent. You don't listen to nobody, man. Not even Doc or Boone. Shiver push on the line every time, man. You blow right past them. Push them, pull them, do something. You can't run over everybody in this league. And every time you do, you leave one of your teammates hanging out to dry. Me in particular.
Why should I give a hoot about you? Huh? Or anybody else out there? You want to talk about the ways you the captain, right?
Right.
Captain's supposed to be the leader, right?
Right.
You got a job?
I have a
you
job.
been doing your job?
I've been doing my job.
Then why don't you tell your white buddies to block for Red better? Because they have not blocked for him worth a plug nickel, and you know it. Nobody plays, yourself included. I'm supposed to wear myself out for the team? What team? No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look out for myself, and I'm going to get mine.
See, man, that's the worst attitude I ever heard.
Attitude reflect leadership, Captain.
Those are tough conversations. I know they are. And you don't necessarily have to say it that way. But if you're sisters, you have to be able to have tough conversations.
Wake up, Joe.
Because of that conversation, this happens. Because they try to improve each other and they have that tough conversation, they're able to elevate each other.
Get this thing right. Let's go.
And I know it's a movie. I know it's a movie.
Ball, ref.
But I think it still makes the point.
Just one time. I swear to God, I'm gonna hit you so hard by the time you come to, ooh, boy, you're gonna need a new haircut. You understand me? Let's play, fellas. The ball was run again. Let's go. careful.
Yeah, I love me a little contact beating.
Left side.
Wrong side.
Left side. Left side.
Look at everybody walk.
Left side.
We'll turn before sunshine comes out. I don't want to get you all distracted in the sunshine. Sorry about that. Come on, help me out here. There we go. You see the point? So many great teams are able to come together because they foster team. And the culture right now, ladies, is everybody for themselves. It is what it is. How many goals can I score? How can I promote myself? And great teams go above it. All right? So, your tracker, you're going to track strengths and weaknesses. You're going to track positive interactions with teammates. But you have to track it, ladies. This is the last piece of paper. I got 2 pieces of paper left to give you. Because what we have to do is we have to get out an improvement plan. All right? It's key that you get on an improvement plan. The more you get on an improvement plan, the more you create positive habits. And when it comes right down to it, the most successful people have great habits. So this was an article that came out about a half year ago called Habits of the Wealthy. And what its point is that many wealthy people are wealthy not because they inherited their wealth, but because they worked for it. They earned it. All right? If you look at rags to riches, 5 rags to riches at the bottom, 60%, 68% of the 400 Americans on the Forbes 2013 billionaires list are considered self-made billionaires. They didn't inherit it, they earned it. Right? So it's a misnomer to think that rich people are rich just because they're rich. These are great habits that a lot of wealthy people do. And I think the trick for all of us is we got to get in the habit of praising teammates. We got to get in the habit of encouraging teammates. We got to get in the habit of improving ourselves. Because if you get in the habit, it becomes second nature, right? I get up at 4:44 Monday through Friday, right? As I told some of you before, my wife has this huge dog that she bought, 110 pounds, and I'm the only person that can walk it. She doesn't want to walk it. So I walk the dog, all right? God bless her. But it's gotten to the point right now where it's a habit that I get up at 4:44, all right? It's a habit of walking the dog. I walk the dog every day because that's just what I do, right? It's the same thing with you, right? Whether it's working hard on the soccer field, whether it's talking about somebody, whether it's sleeping in.